That's right, live here from Free Admissions. This is the Gym Crashers with our special guest, Coach MAQ. And of course, me, Joey the Bull. And on the floor right there, Dondo, the Gym Crasher.
And another special guest. Introduce your friend.
My name is Robert Ramirez.
What do you do over there?
I'm actually the assistant coach to MAQ Performance, and I handle all the boxing work.
Dig it. So Coach MAQ handles MMA, and you're taking care of
The boxing. He also does strength and conditioning.
So. Oh, right on.
Sir.
You got a team of people working with you.
Yes, sir. It all started from Andy Aguilar. Andy Aguilar, Mark Sandoval. They pretty much dropped all that knowledge on me, man. It's just it's a lot of work, definitely. I honestly think 2020 was like a blessing in disguise, you know, because
sure.
I definitely wouldn't have been able to pull this off if I didn't have the time to actually sit down and study all the stuff that goes into the strength training, because the way Andy has the program set up, it's a lot, man. It's a lot of like technical stuff, scientific stuff that goes behind the strength training that a lot of people really don't know.
No, it's the way that fighters are now. Athleticism is at its peak, and in being there, then comes in all of that strength and conditioning.
Definitely.
And the science behind it is kind of it's new to a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm seeing things that I saw in professional football being brought in, CrossFit, all these different things for footwork, for more powerful striking, all these different things being brought in, using the hips, obviously a lot more, but without thinking.
Yeah.
Because you're training them to do it on basically muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's pushing the body.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of our stuff actually comes from Russia. That's where a lot of our strength training comes from, and we really nitpick at different types of training for either rugby, or it could be from football, it could be from CrossFit, but we figured out a way to gel everything together and apply it into our combat sport base. So that's why we have fighters like boxers, MMA fighters, Muay Thai fighters coming into camp, trying it out, and they're feeling so much better than they've ever felt in their lives. You know, even the older fighters are feeling younger because of the training that we provide. You know, there's a lot of people that have never they've tried quote unquote strength training.
Sure.
But when you try our program, you can see it's totally different. It's entirely different.
That's interesting. And you were telling me earlier you're based at Rosemead UFC?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
I dig that, man. That's a great facility. Being a part of something like that gives you a lot of options.
Yes, it does.
And exposure, so that's great.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Carter, he's the head GM there at UFC Gym Bros. I mean, he's given me and Andy so much opportunity, you know. Me working under Andy Aguilar and Mark Sandoval, it's allowed me to see the program firsthand. You know, Andy's trained the likes of Jose Cepeda, who's probably going to end up winning Knockout of the Year after his last fight. Yeah. Leo Santa Cruz, who unfortunately suffered his loss last weekend. He's trained the likes of Jaime Munguia. You know, it's just so many top elite fighters that have come through our way. We also have a UFC fighter, Daniel Rodriguez. You know, he's gonna be fighting. He's gonna be fighting in 2 weeks. You know, so hopefully we keep pushing as a team. You know, and I'm really proud to be under Andy's wing. You know, I'm really proud and grateful for that.
No, it sounds like you bring something to the team as well, which we're talking about. Obviously, we can only talk about so much. Want to give away any trade secrets?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's for the team and only for the team.
Only for the team.
But we dig that. How did you get started in the business?
You know, it was the end of 2019. I was working at UFC. I wasn't even a coach at the time. I was just really in the bag room, you know, just letting my hands go. And then, ironically enough, this guy sitting right here, Mark Ramirez, he was the first person who really believed in me. You know, he was the first person that saw something in me and asked, "Hey, what can I do to help my footwork and all that?" You know, and then we started working one-on-one, and then by the end of the year, I felt something inside saying that 2020 was going to be a pretty big year for me. 2020 was going to be a big year for me. I didn't know exactly how, but in January was when I became a certified coach. And then from there, I started actually training him technique-wise, changing everything up, and then little by little, I started seeing a pattern. I started seeing that what I'm teaching is actually helping people, you know. So with the strength training that came with it, I was thinking I could also do both strength training and technique training as well. So as time went on, Mark began showing progression in both strength training and technique. So I figured I could probably open the door to more people and see if I'm really what I think I'm about. So then little by little, the team started growing. I started getting more clients, and I started hearing from everybody that I'm a really good coach, actually. I really never believed it myself, because I guess you can say I'm kind of hard on myself. So
that's good. That's a good quality.
Yeah.
Some people need to learn to be humble.
Yeah. But
I'm
We're getting looks in
being
studio.
Nice. I'm being nice. As soon as I get up there, I'll be good.
but yeah.
He's going to tell you how you train world champions, but we're going to talk about Coach MAQ.
But yeah, fast forward from January to where we're at right now. I trained 8 people together, 8 fighters together.
Pretty cool.
And then
It's a big number, dude.
I knew that I was going to eventually need help. So that's when I brought the help of Rob Ramirez in the team with me to help me out with the whole boxing technique and all that, because he's really, really knowledgeable about the ins and outs of boxing, you know? I could only say I'm as good as my right hand, and this guy's my right hand right here.
Solid.
So I really believe in him, and I'm really really thankful for him to be a part of the team. Because without him, I wouldn't have been able to make these guys champions.
I like
Sounds
it,
like
Rob.
Dondo, because Dondo's pretty much good with his left hands.
I can switch hit. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Joe.
No problem.
We're going to keep this a G-rated show, regardless of what Joey, his thoughts and opinions don't reflect those of Jim Crasher, as I
You
often
said right hand. I just said left hand.
You know, it's okay. It's okay, little buddy. Don't be ashamed. It's all right. Rob Ramirez in the house. He's taking care of boxing, working on some of the things that MAQ does, but taking it to a different level with boxing. Is that right?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, well, tell me about what you do.
So, well, first we, so that's my brother Mark, actually.
Oh!
So yeah, he's my older brother.
I see it.
So we would always just, mess around with mitts and stuff at the house or whatever.
You got a big little brother.
Yeah, right. So then, we came across Miguel at UFC gym, because that's where we would go, just to work out and train on our own.
Yeah.
And then he was like, hey, I got this program, this and that. I was actually going to participate in the program until I got injured with my knee and everything. So I was still around watching him, drop weight, get stronger, get faster, and hoping to, have him fight at the amateur level. And then the whole team came around, and that's when Miguel asked me, hey, I know you obviously can't fight or anything right now because you're injured. Do you want to be part of, you want to coach? I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Like, I have a background in coaching in pretty much every sport. And so I told him, yeah, I'll do it. And then it's been great ever since. I mean, my background is, I had a few fights when I was younger that my mom doesn't know about, maybe now.
She going now?
But
she won't care. She have to pay any bills for it or anything, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I spent so much time, like very knowledgeable, because I spent so much time with Dean Cali, which is Sergio Mora's trainer, who actually made Sergio Mora the winner of Contender and a champion, WBC champion, and he's actually current Sinisa Estrada's trainer right now.
Legit, man.
So I spent a lot of time with them. Sinisa's actually one of my best friends, so I spent a lot of time with that. A lot of boxing knowledge that comes in, whether it's old school, whether it's adapting to the way the game has changed now.
Yeah.
And so I share it with him. We talk every day about it when we were training or not training. We have a lot of young guys on this team as well. So, a lot of them never had coaches, or a lot of them never had people that really were there for them.
Yeah, everybody's got an uncle. Everybody's got somebody who can throw hands a little bit.
Yeah.
But taking it to that next level is something that is, like I said even earlier, a rarity, really, because you can step into a gym, but the level of training and the level of boxer that exists there tells that story, right? It takes steel to sharpen steel.
Yes.
You can go box somewhere, but you may not get that fighting edge that you need to be an elite fighter.
Agreed.
But I get it. People chuck. People got to do what they got to do. You got to throw leather, stay in shape, and there's different levels to the game. So no disrespect, but when we're talking about what's going on at MAQ Performance, we're talking about bringing people to that elite level.
Definitely.
I like that. I like what I hear. And you guys are pretty well known. I mean, you say you've been doing this since January, but the shirts are out there. You know, the talk's out there, so I was pretty excited when you said you wanted to come on the show.
Oh man, thank you for having us, man. It means a lot. Thank you.
A lot of support, man. We've been, I mean, our week before, well, the week of Reno when we had our tournament, we had a bunch of pro boxers that called in and, you know, wished them luck and everything. We have videos on the page, which was cool for them. They got a little more amped and pumped up, like, oh shit, they're knowing who we are. So that was pretty cool too.
And you guys don't roll, you know, without the whole entourage. I dig that. Right? Bring all your peeps with you.
Yeah, we're still missing like 4 or 5 of them.
I feel like we're gonna go roll out to the strip in Vegas. Right? It's gonna cost some shit.
Hopefully, whenever they decide to open back up, you know, we'll definitely have them ready. Definitely.
I like that.
We're gonna keep working. You know,
so,
gold isn't where these guys are gonna stop.
I dig that. I dig that. 2020, a big challenge for a lot of people. I hate to say this, but the word quit exists out there more so than it ever has in the history of Southern California. Even in the gyms and fight camps and, you know, what's going on, people don't have a direction. So you're telling me in the toughest year ever, you were an entrepreneur and you really turned this around and made something really cool happen, and were able to train people, because contact, which is required for MMA and boxing, is something that people are scared of. I mean, even just sitting this close, they're like, hey, can you wear a mask? You know, I get it. Like, I'm cool. But other people might be tripping out, you know. So your ability to continue doing that, especially in these challenging times, man, hats off to you guys for pushing
thank
it.
Thank you, man.
It's balls. It takes balls, you know.
Thank you.
It absolutely does. And it sounds like this is just the starting point. What do you kind of see on the horizon for 2021? Where are your goals for that?
2021, I mean, is going to definitely be a bigger year than 2020, if that's even possible. You know, 2020 already surpassed what I wanted. You know, I would have never thought that I'd be able to create a team that captured gold as a team. You know, as a team.
Hey,
that's
huge.
First try. First try.
Huge.
Yeah, you know, that's just a testament, not to me, but the people around me. You know, it's just the people around me have really shaped the way that I want my team to be. You know, when I started this team, I said to myself that I really wanted this to be different. I wanted it to be different from any other team, you know, because other teams, like, they throw the word family out there a lot, like, oh, this team's a family, and oh, well,
it's true.
We're gonna mean it, you know.
Yeah.
We don't need to say we're a family, you know. We've bonded on another level, you know, and we're not only there for each other for that hour that we train, you know. That's the most important part. We're there for each other 24/7, 365, whatever it is that you need, you know, mentally, emotionally, physically, like training wise, like we're there, you know. That's what I feel most teams lack, because there's so much mental game when you're a fighter, you know. Fortunately and unfortunately, I've been on both sides of it, you know.
But yeah, you kind of got to see the bad to have a deep respect for the good.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
it really has. Day and night has to happen for you to have respect. So I like that you come from that, and that you can at least say that, you know, I've seen the bad, you know, because you guys are on an uptick right now and things are happening, and it causes you to really take a step back and you know, I think the grind is better because you know you got to push for it.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
That's what it's about. I dig that. But yeah, 2021, nothing but hope. Fighters obviously here in the house. We're pushing for that next event whenever that may happen. Hopefully Pico Rivera Sports Arena happens, right?
Hopefully that's a really good stage to be at. I just really want to keep my guys active, you know. I don't want them settling for just that one time that we went gold, you know. I want them to keep pushing and keep moving forward, because if I'm not there to push them, there's really no need for them to.
It starts at the top. It really does start with the coach. You know, you got to set the tone for everybody to kind of put in the time and the grind, and you know.
Yeah, you know, and that goes to show also is I have people above me, you know, like I'm saying, Andy Aguilar and Mark Sandoval are the two people right above me that I look up to, and day and night those dudes are working, you know.
Yeah.
Pandemic, working the entire time. There was a time when when COVID started and the gyms closed down, you know, we were place to place. We were in a backyard. We were at someone else's house. We were bouncing back and forth, you know, but we kept going.
But you can see what's going on at this undisclosed location, this warehouse right here.
Yeah.
That noise hasn't stopped. March 16th, we still had noise going on. March 17th, same thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So look us up, because, you know where we're at now.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we keep things going, but that's good to hear that you guys do whatever it takes, wherever you got to go to kind of mix it up. I dig that. Did you guys know each other? Growing up and stuff, growing up in the same neighborhood or anything like that?
No.
Crazy, because I get that. It's that family thing you talk about. I get the vibe that your homies are here. You know what I mean? Because you can tell with us monkeys. You know, obviously, we talk a lot of game, but we do. But your bros are here, but this is really a family, because that word bro, it could mean very little. So many people toss homie and bro around, and it means nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, that's one of the main things, one of the big factors that I wanted for this team, you know? I wanted outside people to feel the vibe that's inside the team.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, there's old school coaches that could be like, oh, that's not the way you're supposed to do it, right? There's a certain way you got to go by it, and I'm like, okay, that I get it, because it's old school, you know, it's tradition.
That worked in Jalisco.
But
we're in Rosemead, 2020.
And the biggest, the happiest part that I feel about that is that I feel so happy that so many people were writing me off.
Yeah.
I feel happy about that.
Hell yeah.
Because
now they got to eat it.
When I posted that picture, everyone going gold, silence.
Of course.
You know, I love that. I think it kind of resonates back to the fact that I like being the villain in the story. It's a weird thing.
Sure.
I like being the bad guy, you know?
Yeah.
I like being the one that's written off and then coming back later and saying, look what I did.
Yeah,
you know?
But you like Spider-Man.
But I like Spider-Man. You're right.
Spider-Man.
You're right. Well, if Spider-Man was a bad guy, just saying,
Spider-Man.
You know?
Black suit.
Oh, I do dig the black suit Spider-Man. You're right.
So,
You're right.
I just won't be doing that dance from part 3 of Spider-Man.
Oh, yes.
Definitely.
No, not your thing.
You won't catch me doing that. But,
We'll see. A few more titles and championships down the line, maybe.
Give it up. Dancing with the Stars.
We'll see.
Whatever.
We'll see.
Right?
Catch Coach MAQ on there.
I dig it. You guys are both Dodger fans.
Oh yeah. Don't get me started.
It's a big year, right, for LA. We're on our way to our 3rd, if the Rams could pull it off. Even if you're not a Rams fan, you gotta be an LA fan.
You know, I feel LA is really motivated right now. You know, LA is motivated for titles. You know, Lakers won it.
Yep.
My guys won it. Dodgers won it.
Yep.
You know, this guy went viral.
Yeah, I did go viral. I was on SportsCenter.
He was on SportsCenter.
AM
What the hell?
We got celebrities.
That was
up
for
in
my
here.
crying face when they won.
What the hell?
I was born in '89, man, so that was a long way for me to wait. The last one they won was
I had already
'88.
been to
So
jail, knocked up the crew by 89.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just about graduated high school. I like it.
89.
This guy, yeah.
Oh, I forgot what I was doing. Well, I can say, but I
You
can't
didn't
say.
even speak English then.
No,
The dark years.
I took ESL. I said Jumbo Jack machine. Not gonna say Jumbo Jack.
They sent him over on a banana boat from Puerto Rico and right
Oh,
back
man.
to
I'm not even Puerto Rican. What are you talking about?
Puerto Rican. He could have fooled me with the Jerry curl.
That's what I thought coming in.
Exactly.
I thought it was a Easy E fan.
Oh,
Like that.
damn! I can't wait to be next, bro. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
That's okay. Joey the Bull got a big heart.
Yeah, I do.
He's got to.
That's true.
It's got to fit inside that body.
You dick.
Oh man.
Back to our guests.
Always name calling.
Jeez.
Yes.
And we have guests galore here today.
Got MAQ Performance in the house. Coach MAQ has brought his team. We got Rob Ramirez here talking about the game with us. Tell me about MMA and what's going on there at Rosemead with you.
Well, as far as MMA, that's him. I
that's
handle
right.
the boxing stuff. So
Yeah.
we go in.
Bring
we
it back
have
to boxing for me.
So we got a few boxers on the team that are strictly boxers.
Uh-huh.
We have 2 right now, and what are the rest guys? 6 MMA guys or?
Yeah, it's
Boxers.
6 MMA guys, 2 boxers.
2 boxers.
Yeah.
So that's what we doing. So I meet up with him when it's technique days for the
Got it.
boxing, or they come to my garage on Sundays and we do the whole team
I
thing.
like the garage operation.
Yeah, it's
that.
an old school feel. I like it.
Yeah.
It's cool. And
Where's the garage at? What city? Give me streets.
San Gabriel.
Oh,
It's
right
in San.
on.
So down the street from
SGV,
Rosemead.
baby.
Yeah, so around there. So I mean, it's cool. I put up some wall panels and then brought all the bags and
Cool.
stuff in there, and it gives you a little old school feel. I got a bunch of autograph stuff from boxers I know to motivate these guys, and I got our pictures that we had at camp and stuff, and it's a good feel for us. Like I said, man, I'm loving this right now. Just I wish I could fight, but with my knee and all. But I love being right by this guy. He's young. He's like 10 years younger than me, but
What the
I believe
hell?
in this guy, man. But
He does look young. I ain't gonna ask.
23.
All right, like 8 years or so.
Damn.
But I mean, I
Born in
believe in
the
this guy,
90s.
man. If it was somebody else, I'd be like, he's just a kid. He hasn't even lived his life yet
No,
or
man,
whatnot.
he's a knowledgeable guy.
Very knowledgeable and
speaks well.
and he
Knows the game.
Yeah, I seen what he done to my brother, like as far as his weight loss within.
That was my next
Quick,
question.
man.
Your brother's in the house. He's your older brother.
Yeah,
Obviously,
smaller but older.
He's mean. Well, I was gonna say lean and mean.
Yeah, he didn't look like that in
Somebody
December.
pours the whole box of the cereal out, and somebody doesn't.
Yeah, I keep it. I finish the leftovers. So.
Let's go ahead and
I got-
get these guys in.
So,
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get
Bring
these
Well,
Yeah,
let's
man.
bring them in one at a time. We're gonna have to rotate. So
That's
you
fine.
tell me
I'll
who's
step.
coming.
I'll step
All
out.
right, Coach Rob
Yeah, you
is
can bring
out.
in my brother here.
Bringing in big
Mark.
brother. Mark is a boxer, right?
MMA.
Oh, MMA, mixing it up. All right, Mark.
Mixing
Pleasure
it
to
up.
meet you, man. Come
Thanks,
on
Sam.
in.
Thank you.
To hell with the circumstances. I dig the shirt.
Thanks.
You know. I think your little brother's so cool, man.
Oh yeah.
Such a good dude.
Life of the party.
He's all hard. Yeah, he is. I can tell. I could tell.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Coming off a DQ win actually at the
Okay.
tournament. I don't know if we can go into that.
Yeah,
can we?
tell me. Oh, if it's
Yeah.
legit. Tell me how the preparation for the fight went.
Man.
Anything new and different?
Well, yeah, okay. So let me give a rundown of how it started in December of last year. So I went in at I think 200 and something pounds.
204.
204
So
pounds.
we're gonna talk afterwards because I gotta start doing it. So we know.
Yeah.
That's about where I'm starting at right now.
So at that point I started. I wanted to have balance in my life.
Yeah.
And this particular part of my life, which was fitness and movement and exercise, was severely lacking.
So you weren't already fighting at that time?
No.
What the hell?
Yeah. I mean, just
Mac brought
here
you
and
to
there.
the
Yeah.
cage just for 8 months.
Yeah. So
Savages.
it started working with my brother, a little
Right
bit
on.
with boxing, and then I met Coach, UFC gym, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, I kind of wanted to just like get fit, get in shape,
Sure.
And-
That's important if you're gonna fight.
Yeah, definitely. And that wasn't even like my initial intention.
Yeah.
I was just like, I gotta like build this part of my
Fighting
life.
for fitness is not uncommon right now.
Yeah, and I fast forward a little bit, and
Right.
like, dude, I love it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this is a part of my life that I can't let go of anymore.
I hope you don't.
Like no, like I need to fight, whether it's to protect my family, my beautiful fiance over there.
Right? I was gonna say, there's your balance right there. Yin and yang right here.
Yeah,
right?
definitely, and just it has felt like a family.
She's smart. She don't let you out of her sight.
Oh yeah.
I'm going with you to this podcast. I heard they have girls there.
The only thing with big tits is me.
Those are the wrong shape. And they have hair on them.
Yeah, man, and I mean, I'm 40 pounds down.
Yeah.
40 pounds down. I think this is the fittest I've ever been in my life.
Buck 60, solid
Yeah.
muscle.
Even when I ran the marathon, I think in 2015, like I wasn't this fit.
Yeah.
And
Good for you, man.
I'm just so happy. Like it's brought a sense of. So I can be pretty like heady, very very in my head. And I do meditation. I
That's
do
a hard
breath
place to
work.
be. So yeah, meditation's key for that. Breathing.
And I can't even tell you how much fighting brings me into my body so much more than those things. Like there's something so primal about it,
Yeah.
and so like connected about it. You know, when I was younger, I took a little bit of jiu-jitsu, like in college, and
cool.
and judo. You know, but I used to suffer from social anxiety, so like I stopped after a while.
Check it out, you're on a microphone today.
Yeah, and
With a
now like, I
strange
feel
dude.
good. Yeah.
Talking all kind of crap on people. I dig it.
You realize there's people watching.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
There's a million,
He's frozen.
there's a million viewers
Wait.
out there. Let me tell you, we're trying to sell this to ESPN, dude.
You guys set me up, bro.
Dig it.
Yeah, and
No, you're doing awesome, and these are big hurdles to overcome, just in the mental game. But then you've already really conquered a physical aspect in the game that you drop 40 pounds. And dropping weight ain't easy. People really spend billions of dollars every year on products that are not even FDA approved because they don't want to put in the work.
yeah.
They're going to take, this fat burner and this cholesterol lowerer and all these terrible things and that make them blow up, and then they triple their size.
Yeah.
And yet homeboy here's doing the work.
Yeah, yeah, and not just the weight loss too, which feels so good, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But like, I can fight. Like, I feel confident now, man. Like,
that's a big thing, and especially since we live in a time of unrest. And you said your girl means the world to you.
Yeah.
You don't want to be out there and not be able to take care of business.
exactly. That's pretty
I
huge. for
dig
me,
it, man.
yeah.
I dig it. That's a pretty quick turnaround for a win, DQ or not. Pretty big turnaround. 8 months. I'll take a DQ in 8 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dairy Queen? No, I'm kidding. But that's
Yeah.
cool, man. And Coach Mac's science and performance center, of course, has brought this to be something that you've done in a pretty quick amount of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, 40 pounds in 8 months, that's a pretty good number.
Absolutely. Check my videos out from when I started to where I'm
Yeah.
at now. I look like a completely different person. Not just like weight wise, but like technique, everything. Like power, speed. Like I feel really
It's
good.
interesting that you bring that up. It's something we talked about earlier. I don't know if we were on camera or not, but oftentimes you hear, well, my hands are fast. Well, that doesn't mean shit. If you have no power behind it, if you don't have hips, if you don't have footwork, then you're just making tortillas.
Oh man, this guy. I'm telling you right now, Dondo, I'm gonna jack you up.
See what I mean? See what I mean? Takes it all personal.
I'm trying to be good.
Well, you be what you want to be.
Talking about my tortilla hands, how I threatened Mike Tyson one time
Got
to come
sausage fingers. I didn't bring up Mike Tyson. I'm embarrassed for you. We got real boxers here. That's okay. I know.
It's all good, no worries.
You know what
He doesn't know the truth.
I could say something and he would take offense to it and not even talking about it.
He's just waiting. He's waiting to come on. He's waiting.
You know what it is?
Waiting.
He's very,
He's like, all right.
he's very sensitive.
Exactly.
I'm not
He's very sensitive.
We have our guests. Just
We got a whole bunch of guests. We got all the time in the world. It's gonna be one of those long shows.
Well, we just gotta make sure we make it home before they start rioting after whoever wins.
It can happen in our neighborhoods, right? That stuff don't happen in our neighborhoods.
I live in good old Lake
You know?
Forest.
Yeah. That's closer to Mexico, where he's from. Down the 5.
Down the 5.
That's where they keep him.
I'm a big ass Mexican trying to arrest my ass. I'll just roll on the ground.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. I dig it. We're gonna get back to our guest, Joe.
Yeah.
So these successes, obviously, we can attribute a lot of it to, obviously, Coach Mac, the strategic performance that he actually teaches people clearly within 8 months, get you to a fight. Talk to me about preparing mentally for that fight, because now you're stepping into the ring, and any of us can step up against somebody in Costco.
Right.
But stepping into the ring with somebody that wants to take your head off and trains for it is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
They know the game, you know the game. What's going to make you better? Tell me about that.
Yeah. So when I first started, when we first started getting into the sparring and the training with other people, even then, like, I had gotten over my anxiety about a year ago. But even then, like, it's still like fighting with people I don't know, and
It finds its way in the cracks.
yeah. So I would sit there, and even though I had the technique, like, there was a good period where I was just like, whenever they would throw something, I'm like, and then I would stop.
Sure.
And after a while, like, just the confidence that got built in that is just like, boom, hit me, let's go, like let's
You
go
get
at
used
it.
to the impact.
Yeah, and I can't even tell you, like, just like the confidence level from the last, I think, 6 months maybe leading up to the fight. Like, I didn't care who I was going against. Like, I knew, like, I had it either way.
Yeah.
Like, I knew I had the dub.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig that. And it's a testimony to what Mac was saying earlier. Some of the old school guys, they don't believe in what the younger guys possess, because they don't understand it. but bringing home gold. I mean, nobody can argue with that. So that alone tells me about your team. And then when you can sit here as a team and talk, and we can go over these things, wrap up, a crappy year for 99% of the population, and you guys are out there thumping, doing your things. I dig it.
I think my biggest takeaway too from the team is just the amount of support you have within the team.
Sure.
Like it does something for your confidence and your ability in a way that other teams can't, because it's just like, okay, you're doing a program, you do what we tell you, and you get results. But here it's like, even if you don't, like you're good, and just knowing like, okay, I'm good, I'm supported, it like pushes you in a way that the other style doesn't. Like I've surpassed so much of my own like just expectations that
I think with a good coach, and I use that word strongly because it could be tossed around that people are coaches, and I'm not making fun of somebody in this room. I really mean this. Don't get sensitive. To push someone to their potential is a very, very scientific and heartfelt thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love and a lot of science that goes into that. And the game that MAQ talks about with us, a lot of the things that he said that they incorporate into their fight camps.
Yeah.
These are those things that push that person to the next level. But you got to believe too, and you got to put in the work.
Yeah.
So the combination of what we see here is what brings home gold. You know what I mean?
And I
Coach
think,
can tell you got to follow.
Yeah, and I think that's where the off training, talks help, because we have our little group chat, and like we'll call each other up, like, hey, what's going on with you, man? Like where's your head at? Yeah. Where are you at mentally? Where are you at emotionally? Like anything you got to get off your chest, like air it out. Even if it's with coach.
Wow. That's cool.
It's
important because there's a decent amount of people out there that are a little weak and they need that support. But look at this. Talk about strength in numbers. This is what it's about right there. That's the team. Is that at the tournament?
Yep.
Yeah, that's at the tournament.
So tell me about tournament location. Where were you guys at?
So we went out to Reno, Nevada. That's where we competed for IKF, PKB, point tournament, Muay Thai. And yeah, man, the guy third to the right with the green and black shorts, that's our guy Oscar Rolando. Yeah. He's over in Arizona right now. So he had a good 5 months without training with us, because he had to move out, family stuff. COVID hit, the whole job situation got tough. They offered him a good job over in Arizona. It was a tough decision, but he sat down with me and I told him, dude, like, do what's best for your family, man. Family's always got to come first.
Family's got to eat.
So it was a tough thing to do because we had a lot of expectations for Oscar, like being here, training every day, like where we wanted him to be, and then that happened, and it just, it hurt.
Yeah.
But just the fact that he was out there doing his own thing, training, and having that goal to come back and compete with the team.
Yeah.
Coming back and then winning gold, it's like I can't take credit for that,
Long
that's
limbs, dude. I can see he's taller than everybody. Got that reach. You know what I mean?
Power. Packs a lot of power, man.
Yep. I dig the Muay Thai shorts. Right?
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. I can see it. I can see the look in your faces, man. That's the team.
Sir.
And that was the day. So that's so cool, especially for you guys to do it together.
Yeah, especially with family, with my brother, like that's helped so much too, man. It's, I can say too, even as my little brother, like he's been an inspiration too, man. Like he helps me push,
Oh, I know that, man.
in the moments when I'm just
fire.
like, in the moments when I'm like, I'm done, dude. Like he's like, no, you're not. Like you got this, man.
Once his knee heals,
we're gonna
we'll
fight.
see big things.
We're gonna fight when
Right?
his knee heals.
We're gonna pay back. I think I hit him on the first spot. I taught him everything, so now I'm a little worried.
You should be.
Yeah.
Man's on fire over here, ready to do it. Brother on brother.
Yep.
That's cool. No, it's cool to have your little brother in the game with you.
Little big brother.
A little big brother. That's right. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So MAQ, getting back to you, man. You got these guys here. Obviously, it has been a successful formula. Do you think you're going to mix it up, bring some new things in, or is this the winning formula that you're going to use until you think something else needs to be done?
I always heard of that saying, don't fix it if it ain't broken, right? But I definitely do want to try out other things, you know? I don't want to just be a one formula type of guy, you know? Like, even with the strength training, there's always new things that Andy and I are learning, you know? Always new techniques, new scientific methods to apply, exercises to curriculum, to an algorithm, to produce power, volume, intensity, you know? Because everything we do for strength training is crunched down to numbers. So we need things done for X amount of reps, X amount of volume. We need volume output. Like, there's a lot of different things that go on with that, right? So if it works in strength training, maybe with technique as well. So even myself, I'm still learning. I mean, I'm 23 years old, so I have my coach.
Amazing.
I have my coach, Laurent Wilson, who has taught me the technique that I know. You know, Laurent Wilson, he's been a real inspiration to me, you know? If it weren't for him, I definitely would not be where I'm at, you know? So Laurent Wilson, Andy Aguilar, those are the two pillars of my creation. You know, MAQ Performance comes from them. It's not from me. I just put everything together.
That's cool. I mean, their performance already speaks for itself. So to have you coming from that, you know, that's a proven formula within the team.
So yeah, definitely. I'm still learning new things. So whatever I learn, we'll experiment it in camp. If it don't work, we'll change it. You know, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of failure here and there. You know, it always teaches us something new.
Keep you humble.
Yeah.
Is there any team that you look at or any coach that you've looked at for inspiration and said, you know, they're doing it the way I think it should be done?
You know, there's a lot of great coaches out there, but I feel like taking a little bit from everybody is my thing. You know, I don't really want to say I look up to one coach. I look up to all the coaches, you know, because being a coach in itself is a tough thing to do, you know. You have a lot of people relying on you. There's a lot of pressure on you, and the fact that they're able to keep their head about it is pretty inspirational in itself. You know?
Yeah. It's funny, the argument I hear often is that, oh, I'm open-minded or I'm closed-minded. I really think the people with an edge in the way that you speak, it's about being filter-minded, in that in with the you know, everything, actually in with everything and out with the bad, and keep that good stuff. That's what filtering's about. You know what I mean? Take it all in, but get rid of all that bad stuff. So you got to filter it out. You can't just be open-minded and taking BS. You know, a lot of BS out there.
Yeah, I feel like the more knowledge I consume, the more dangerous the team will become.
I like that. That's a winning edge to have.
Definitely.
Dig that. And then coming back to you, how about inspiration from fighters? Because this has been a big year, not just from the physical, mental, but the fighting aspect. There's sometimes a need to have someone that has kind of paved that way and said, that's where my body is, I can do that now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I actually started with Tyson as my inspiration.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Oh, I could see it. With 200 pounds, why not?
Yeah. But then, you know, his style didn't really work for me.
Oh, damn. Well, you know what? He's an inspirational dude. He's about to fight again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's 50-something years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he has slowed down. Now we can talk about speed. That's some fast hands. You see Mike Tyson in those old videos, and it's just like, that's not human.
Scary.
Just is not human. Yeah. So, yeah, you can draw inspiration from that. Anybody type thing. You just want to be like that, right? Top of the game. That's top of the food chain. That's a war machine.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I know he's older, and I'm always inspired by people that want to continue. I just hope it plays out well. You know, because there is a time to throw in the towel. There really is.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of life. We can't always be, but you've reached a good portion of what may be your potential. Obviously, a lot more to learn, a lot more to gain from the sport of fighting.
Definitely.
But so Mike Tyson is where your target was. How about now that you fought and come back with the win? Anybody in the MMA world?
That's rough. I've always been a fan of GSP.
Oh,
George St. Pierre. Yeah.
That's as loose as it gets, right?
Yeah.
He's a gymnast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a different style altogether.
Yeah.
But I respect the guys that give damage and don't take it. Now that we know what CTE causes, what concussion causes, right? You don't want to be eating your Fruit Loops through a straw.
Yeah.
You know?
I might also be aging myself here, but I was always inspired by kickboxer and blood sport.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man.
You're sitting next to me. I think I got everybody beat in this room. So no, I'll go back into the Dragon.
Oh man.
Okay,
yes.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, Bloodsport was killer. I just watched it the other day.
Yeah.
Even though you've learned a fighting sport now and you're obviously developing your talent, you could tell in those movies those are just dance moves.
Right. Yeah.
But I still love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even in Rocky.
It's motivating. Yeah.
Every punch when they admire them. They teach you all the wrong things. Rocky punches and he looks at his punch for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Punches back. They're sitting there admiring their punches.
I do that too.
Yeah, that's the worst
To be
thing in
fair.
the world. It's gonna get you cracked quick.
Yeah.
That's
But-
what happens when you watch too much movies,
Yeah.
Mark.
We're all guilty of it, right?
Yeah.
But then we just admire that punch.
Yeah.
Dig, oh, look where that landed. Before you know it, your mouthpiece is flying the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing I learned from my coach Laurent. I would always it's called admiring your work, like just how you said it. You'll punch, you'll stay there, you'll get popped, then you wonder why, right? And my coach always said, don't admire your work until after. When the fight's over, then admire what you did, right? Always bring your hands back, basic stuff. Bring your hands back, keep your hands up, move in and out, side to side. Just basic stuff.
Yeah.
Just don't leave yourself in a vulnerable position. The best to ever do it, Mayweather, right?
Oh, man.
The sweet science is to hit and not get hit, right?
That's right.
A lot of people say he likes to run, but he's undefeated,
Yeah.
He made a lot of money.
A lot of money.
He did a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, it may be the best way to go. I admire the people that stand and bang,
Mm-hmm.
but they may not be able to do the things he does physically today at his age.
Yeah.
And I would rather be in his shoes. I would rather be able to do everything at a top level at that age than to say I stood and banged, for 5 to 10 years and, my brain don't work no more, right?
Yeah.
Parkinson's. All those things. We know the reality of impact on the brain now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You can't knock that. And GSP was elusive, too.
Yeah.
He didn't take a lot of damage. So,
Yeah.
these are the guys that I think are smart.
Yeah, and that's one thing I could say for Coach and my brother too. Like, they fix bad habits. Like, that's one thing I love about them. Like, I've had at least 3 that I could think of off the top of my head that they've fixed for me. So one was the Tyson thing.
Sure.
Another thing was admiring my work. Like, I'll hit him with the jab and then boom to the body, and then I'll sit there like, ooh, that had to hurt him, and then I'm getting popped.
That's a karate thing, too, because the karate
Yeah.
guys, they just leave their punches
Yeah.
out there. All of a sudden, whack.
And then I used to do this weird thing, like when I would punch,
Yeah.
like I have like bowling legs, so like I would punch and like my leg would be all the way on this side, man.
yeah.
Yeah, so they fixed that too.
I've
And-
never seen that. That's
yeah,
interesting.
because it's so like it throws me off balance. But
Yeah.
yeah, they fixed
Let's
that.
pull up some of the bloopers.
Oh,
on
no.
it. Some of the old school videos.
If in MMA, it could be like the Superman punch. Like
Right.
once that leg goes back. So if you're using it right, there's leverage. In boxing, you might get knocked over.
Oh yeah, knock myself over.
Yeah.
I've done that a couple times.
That's an interesting one. That's cool though. I mean, here's the thing: is we have bad body mechanics. Growing up, doing things, climbing trees, playing sports in the park, because nobody's teaching us. We're just doing our own thing. When you step up to a fighting sport, especially, then you really have to be able to use your hips, use
Yeah.
your footwork before you even throw your arm, and then turn in your fist. You know what I mean? How many people throw a fist and you're like, the hell is, I mean, you don't know until they come in and do it. Like, yeah, you're going to need some help.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they got this big right hand until it's time to use it. And you're like, okay, well, let's work on that.
Yeah, I really think one of the biggest benefits about being a strength trainer and a technique trainer at the same time is you're able to fix the posture mechanics in strength training, because in strength training, if you arch your back a little bit too much, you're gonna hurt your back. So the posture is it's all about the posture. These guys will tell you, I'm always on them about how to lift, how to throw, because you're gonna generate power by your posture being right. So if I drill that in strength training, by the time we get to technique, like, all right, coach is gonna tell me to sit on my punches. He's gonna tell me to pivot my hip, turn my hip out, because I know it's crazy, but I feel like your power comes from the ground, right?
No,
It's all about how you move your shoulders, your hips, your feet. Even the slightest bit can make the biggest change, right? So yeah, it's I'd rather my guys have the best technique above power and speed, because I feel technique, if you pop someone with like the perfect shot,
That's
it's
what
gonna put
wins.
them down.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Mm.
I dig that. And no, that theory of it coming from the ground, that's every bit of who you are. That kinetic energy
Exactly.
that drives forward, and that's what knocks people out.
Exactly. Yes.
That's the KO, and that's what I dig. So
Yeah.
you're in good hands, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Dig it,
I
you
know that. Yeah.
Big things to come. But you did come here, and you're very honest, and I think it shows strength that you've overcome some anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And I always know, because you talk to people with that it's always around the corner. It's always like lurking in the back of your head. It may not poke its head out,
Right.
but it's always right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you might be doing the best thing by facing it.
Yeah, definitely.
know?
Yeah. I mean, people have said that, and like I've tried that, because mine used to be crippling. Like
Yeah.
I left college because like I ran out of
It's
college
crazy
because
because
of it. Yeah.
you don't get a sense of that from you today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can understand, because people do tell me that
Mhm.
they were that way and they're getting past it. So you're doing awesome.
Yeah, and I've done my own work, aside from this, to deal with that. But this has helped so much because it puts you in your body,
Yeah.
and like that's where anxiety is stored. So you're letting out a lot of it,
Yeah.
and it's done wonders for
How's
me
the
now.
ground game? Because we're talking a lot about standing, but you doing jiu-jitsu?
I haven't since college, but I mean, like we've trained a little bit, and like
Yeah.
I still got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's important.
Definitely something
Right?
I will want
You gotta be able to
get
mix
back
it up
into.
today.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like to develop a good MMA fighter, you definitely need boxing and wrestling to be the base of everything.
It's a good base.
To be the base of because the boxing is going to teach you how to move your shoulders and your hips, right, and moving in and out. So with that, throwing a kick will be a little bit easier, right? Throwing a kick after moving your hip will be a little bit easier. All you got to do is fix a little bit of things here and there. Point your toe out, point the hips out. Knees will become easier, right, from Muay Thai. And then with wrestling, the whole grappling comes into play. So you already know what it's like to be on someone, to use your weight, get someone to the ground. Now what are you going to do on the ground? Once the wrestling is done, then you get to the jiu-jitsu. So right now these guys are doing their Muay Thai kickboxing tournaments. So we're emphasizing on that, because I would really love for their stand-up to be their primary. But I really want them to know that in order to be a great fighter, you need to be a well-rounded fighter. Have your wrestling, have your jiu-jitsu, have everything on point. Because
100%.
Because all fights are going to start standing up. So I would rather them be as comfortable as can be standing up. And if it ever goes to the ground, then be confident in that, in their ground game as well.
Yeah, we're talking about the street. Forget it. Somebody drops to the ground, just soccer kick them.
Yeah. No rules. No
No
rules.
rules. The street's a whole different thing. Yeah. You're talking about teaching a boxer to kick. The stance is something that I would be concerned with, because that Muay Thai stance, you're on the balls of your feet, your hands are different, the posture's different.
Yeah,
And then the kick comes from a different place than the punch.
exactly.
So is that something that's easily adapted from a boxer, or is that something you really have to work at?
I wouldn't say easily adapted, because every fighter is different, and I think that's where, as a coach, you need to be really, really aware of what kind of fighter you have in front of you. If a fighter is more receptive than the other, it'll come naturally. We have some fighters that you tell them, point your hip out and your toe out, all right, cool, and they got it.
They get it. Yeah.
They get it on the first try, right? There's other fighters where we need to sit down. We need to show them how to turn their hip. Some people are just tight in their hip area, so we need to get them a little more loose. So yeah, it's every fighter's different. I feel understanding it. The sooner you understand it, the sooner you're able to apply the proper technique to get them where they need to be.
Yeah, clean that up. Do you find that fighters are reaching? You always got to kind of correct that too. They don't
Yes.
sit in the pocket. They're
A
not
lot.
sitting on their
And it's
punches.
really ironic that this guy's right here,
Yeah.
like the main one.
I often wonder if it's a psychological thing, because you're so hungry for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going out. You got to see. Don't be hungry. It's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Exactly.
eat. You're gonna eat.
Yeah.
Sit on them and make them matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Make it count.
Yeah.
Because I've seen too many times in a fight where if you are overreaching, you're off balance.
Yeah.
Number one, and then the chase is on too, because then they know you're reaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that side-to-side movement, you're going to get tagged because they're changing angles on you.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous place.
Yeah, it's really dangerous, and it's dangerous on different levels depending which which combat sport you're looking at.
Yes.
If it's boxing, you know, if you reach forward like Ricky Hatton did on Mayweather, you get caught with that left hook into the ropes and then you're done. Right?
It's textbook.
If you're in MMA and you overreach, you're gonna step over. The guy's gonna step out, watch you fall, get on top, and
Sure.
End you right there.
It could happen.
So it really it's really important to know how to sit on your shots, how to turn your hip and your shoulder, because if you overextend, that could be a lot of different ways that you can get messed up.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if it's a habit, they're going to time it,
Yeah.
and they're going to nail you.
Yeah, exactly.
How about changing levels? You get your guys up against a wrestler or a jiu-jitsu guy that changes levels, ready for that shot.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to teach them to be able to, deal with
changing
that.
levels is very important. Very important. Since everything's closed right now, we're not really allowed to use the cage that's in the facility or the mat room that's in the facility. So for right now, the whole changing levels thing, I'm working on that with them. So they're able to really, work their levels on me, because I'm not saying I'm the best, but I know, I know how to feint. So say if you're gonna go for a jab up high, you're gonna get their hands up high, their body is exposed, pop them to the body, or fake up top, go down low for the shoot, and it's just we're working with what we got. We're
That's
working
cool.
with what we got right
You
now.
got to do it that way.
Yeah.
Interesting thing when you bring up feints. I watch Israel Adesanya, the recent fight, and when he feints with his hips,
Yeah.
right? I mean, because they're devastating kicks. And also you see a hip coming at you. I mean, I flinch, and I'm at home. Oh, here it comes. Those are such high-level feints that really change the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. I really like that you bring that up. A lot of these little things, it tells the story of what your training's about. It really does. So I know you're for real. We are coming up on the clock, so I'm going to switch to the next segment. If you want one of your guys to come in, we're going to bring in Joey the Bull for Bull or No Bull.
Let's go ahead and get Brandon in here.
Want to get Brandon in?
Yeah.
Hey, it was a pleasure.
Same, man.
Hey, next time you fight, I want to be there.
All right.
I need it.
All right,
I'll
you
buy
got
that
it.
ticket. You're gonna give it to us.
Thank you, brother.
I conduct interviews. We do combat sport interviews. I want to get you on camera after that W because I believe in you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
We're going to keep this thing going. Joey, come on board.
Oh, Lord.
Introduce the guys. Well, the guys.
I need you to speak up, all right? We're going to need him to have the mic.
Got a lot of mic.
3 inches.
He's so shy.
Sorry, Joey just knocked over some equipment in the studio, but he's
I'm
coming
tired.
now.
I'm very tired because
It's a lot to carry that weight around. I know.
it's not. No, I'm a big dude. I mean, be honest. I'm getting ready to do this sleeve surgery. That's what I'm getting ready to do now. So I've been losing some weight. I've been lost already about 35 pounds. I can look down and finally see my dick. So I'm good. I'm happy. Honestly, when you're fat, you can't see shit. I'm looking down, all I see is belly. And I only see my toes yet. Now I can look down and see the turtle head pop out. I'm like, there it is. Gotta shave you down there. It's been a while. Got a fucking jungle down there. You see this? It matches down there. It's like, imagine that. That's my dick right there. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. Even my wife's like, it's like, welcome to the jungle. She starts singing Guns N' Roses, welcome to the jungle. So I have deep conditioning shit sometimes to make it nice and just like matches. Smells good.
Yeah.
Gotta have it smell good.
As long
Otherwise,
as it smells good, man.
yeah. Well,
Hygiene is very important.
very important.
Very
Very important.
important.
So yeah, I've been losing weight, didn't know anything, and just cutting the weight. And he's talking about fast hands. I mean, believe it or not, this handsome man, about say 10, 15 years ago, I used to coach.
Okay.
And I used to throw hands. And I was the boxing coach. I was kind of like you. I was more the technique coach. I wasn't like full on, bam, bam, bam. I was like telling guys to move their legs, turn their bodies, and hit, boom, let me feel it. Oh, beautiful, sweet. But I'm Joey the Bull. What's your name?
Brandon Morales.
You shake my hand, bro. I'm on COVID. And of course, you got MAQ in the house.
Yes, sir.
So,
I like that.
and then these guys, what's up?
Tell him, give him a shout out to his dad, Nick.
Oh, shout out to Nick Morales, right? Morales?
Yeah. Tyler Joseph.
That's right, Nick Morales in the house. What's up? Big shout out. I'm an old man myself, so how old's Nick Morales?
It's his dad, so.
How old's your dad?
I think he's about 52.
Oh,
He said he thinks.
I'm not.
He said he thinks.
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, he don't know his.
I'm sorry, Dad.
He doesn't know your birthday. So I dig the hair color. What's up with the hair color, man?
I just wanted something new because about like a week ago it was pink. So
that's
I did it
nice.
for breast cancer because
That's cool.
I have some aunts who had breast cancer.
Yeah.
So we did it for the month and I just decided to just go one more color before I go back.
You know, and that's a big shout out. My mom's a 25-year survivor of breast cancer. So much love to all the survivors, all the
Give
ladies.
a hand for that.
You know,
That's what I give a hand for that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's beautiful with your aunts and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing.
Thank
Middle
you.
guy soft spoken, a little closer to the mic.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it ain't gonna come up on the camera.
It's all good. I'll translate.
Especially when you're sitting next to him, it's picking up his voice.
Anyway, before we get into any of my segments, I want to share some videos with you guys. I have this video clips. Can we play them? Possible.
Pops is 49.
Oh, he's 49. See, I'm,
Sorry.
yeah, I just turned 46, so I'm almost, we're almost there. But I got some videos real quick we're going to throw on, and after that we'll talk about more crazy shit about me. But these are videos, we call it, instead of Bushido, it's called Bullshito. And I hope you enjoy these videos here. And of course, two guys in the locker room, one thing's trying here. Better watch out. He's channeling big time. Look at this guy. He grabs him. There you go. There you go, Daniel's son. You
Bullshito.
wax off that ass.
Sir.
Now, these fighting techniques, I don't get them. With the knives, this guy, he's the coach. He makes it sound like it's so easy. I mean, in my neighborhood, it was sliced right away. I mean, and for some reason, these guys have power, just like Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal.
I mean, that's what he thinks, right? No, this stuff actually works. You get a guy in the right spot, you can drop him to the ground and hit that nerve spot. I can move it with Adam. I think I can Adam. I can do that with. Even Dondo. Now this guy, he's fighting for the freaking plunger.
Go.
Look at
That's just the smell right there.
I know. It's,
There it is. Nope. No one wants it.
that's his old
Nobody
sex
wants
toy.
that.
He's like, hey, smell this.
Oh,
smell grandma right here.
His
Yeah,
thrift store is
smell
not
grandma's
getting robbed.
gooch. Yeah.
Not my thrift store. Nope.
Yeah, nope. Look at this guy.
Whoa.
Like, I mean, these guys are selling their schools. I mean, if I saw this on TV, and now this guy,
Water bag. Oh.
it's called breakdancing mixed with a little kung fu action. I get it. He's trying to sell his school, trying to make that money.
Okay.
I mean,
feel that.
as a young kid, you see this stuff, you're like, I'm gonna join. I want to do that.
Definitely.
I don't know what happened here.
He hit his
I think he
abs.
tore his ACL.
He probably has stinky underarm pits.
What am I doing wrong? now that I'm seeing this.
I mean, if you do these videos yourself, you probably.
Oh!
Wow.
Whoa!
Yeah, but
You gotta commit
let's
to that.
Let's go one more
You
time.
gotta commit to that. Oh! Oh! Oh!
Hey, this guy, and these are future WWE wrestlers.
Yes, sir.
But he's telling us, hey, all you gotta do is just touch him right here, and he's gonna fall like. There you go.
Oh,
What the hell? He played it off great too. Till he's like, I'm gonna fall.
these guys are WWE guys, aren't they?
Look at this again. And
And
What?
go home.
I think where's Pop's trying to show off on this kid.
Oh! Close up shot.
Now this is sexy right here.
Oh.
This is Dondo found this on Grindr one day looking for a date.
Oh, that's Daniel.
No, hold on. Let me pull this big stick real quick. Let me just hit you with this. Now he's out. And knock the sword off your hand, and that's all it takes. And people pay money for this shit. I just don't get it. I mean, I got a big stick I walk around with, so I don't know what you're talking about. This is called, I can't go there. We might get sued. Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
Boom. There's a belt for that.
I'm just going to check your pants here.
Let
This
me
is
just
like
check you
security.
out. You're all good.
What's that? They got a weapon there? Is that your phone? Is that your wallet? Wait, that's your dick. Okay, hold on. That's your balls. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it. Now unzip your pants.
I feel there would be a lot less problems at TSA if they did that.
That was,
Oh, there he goes. Yeah, higher.
man.
That's the
And
goal.
of course, If you can't afford a costume for Ninja Turtles, you just use the baby car seat. This kid, he's trying his best.
Cut up.
Yeah, there he goes. Well, there you go. There you go. So, embarrassing moments you had in your life as fighters coming up. I'm talking about like embarrassing moment. What is your most embarrassing moment you ever had yourself?
Oh man, how much time we got for Brandon? Oh no,
We could be here all day.
we're gonna be here for a while.
What's the best story you have right now?
Remember, everyone's watching.
Let's see.
It doesn't have to be G-rated.
Oh no.
Yeah.
When in doubt, you gotta pull it out.
What?
I'm trying to think.
He's trying not to get in trouble. That's what he's trying not to do. He's trying not to get in trouble.
Oh, okay. Well, what about Coach Mac? What about you?
No, we'll stick with him right now. We'll stick with him first.
Well, did you wear a cup one day and everything fell out of your Muay Thai shorts?
Oh no, not that. Let's see.
That was actually me. That was me. Yeah, you called it like on the dot.
It's embarrassing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
especially when you don't exercise. I mean, I shared the story a long time ago. I was rolling with a jiu-jitsu group one day, and I was wearing some basketball shorts, and I was doing the shrimp workouts. You know, shrimp.
Yeah.
They realized I was pushing so hard, and I didn't think about it, that I didn't realize my shorts were down to my freaking knees, and everything was hanging out. And I felt bad for everybody, but it's like, it is what it is. I mean, the mat was clean. I mean, I was a pretty clean guy, so, you know, hey, you see a dick, you see a ball. You know. But what about you? Okay, have you been to like maybe a club? Maybe share a story, like maybe a nightclub, a girl, you know, got crazy, dancing. She's not to be a girl after all, or you know. Because it happened to me plenty of times. I've been to dance in some clubs sometimes too. You
I
know.
mean, Reno was pretty crazy.
Okay, so what happened in Reno?
What happened in Reno stays in Reno.
Yeah.
Those are the stories.
No, I'm trying to make this guy come out of his shell.
Parents are watching.
Oh, okay,
My
Dad.
family's watching too, so
I got
leave Coach Mac out of it. Leave Coach Mac. Whatever you did on your own.
There's a reason I sent you to Reno with only $10.
No, but no, not to.
Everything's legal there. You know?
Well, talking about legal, dude. Last night, okay, because I've been doing this whole diet thing, right? And I wanted something sweet, so you know, I had these little canisters that one of our friends left us over. I thought they were like breath mints, you know. So I opened it up. They were like jelly stuff. I'm like, what the hell is this jelly thing all about? So I put it in my mouth. Whatever, no flavor. Took a second one. I was like, what the fuck is this? I closed it up. Didn't realize this shit had THC in it. I'm freaking balls out. My wife's laughing at me like crazy. I'm like, yo, babe, I don't know what to do. She's like, don't worry, just go to sleep. Sleep it off. You're going to be okay. So I slept it up. I wake up in the morning. I'm still laying there. I'm like, okay, I'm good. You know, whatever. So I got up. As soon as I stood up and that cold air hit me, I was a done bun. I'm talking about I walked to the restroom, sat in the toilet, did my business, got some toilet paper out, and that's where I left it. So I sat there for a good 5 minutes staring at the wall with toilet paper in my hand, not even wiped my ass yet. And it was like the most weirdest shit ever. Now I finally cleaned up, took my dogs out for a walk, and I just started seeing crazy shit in the morning, like just squirrels and just leaves blowing around, even though it wasn't windy. So, I'm better now. I'm coming off it. The thing that things were like 500 milligrams. I took 2 of them. And at work, you should see me at work today. I was a mess. So that was one of my embarrassing moments that I could predict. I mean, that happened to me last night. So I took some THC jellies, which I didn't know they were. I was freaking out. My wife said, "Calm down." I'm like, "It's all good." So that's my story. You know. Anyway.
That's harsh.
So he's leaving Reno as Reno, which is all good. Coach Mac said his fell out. That's all I got. That's all I got. So next up we got Adam to talk about the fights coming up, right?
Bring homie on.
Yes, sir. Just want to bring
Switch it
Daniel
out. Get on it, man. Don't let your feet fall out.
You're all good. You want to bring up the fights for me, Robert? I got the odds over here.
Fights for him, Robert.
Definitely gonna need you to speak up too.
Yeah,
if you wanna-
I don't know
Deb-
about that
Don't
one.
worry.
It's like we went low voice, lower voice. So these guys are super quiet.
Oh, don't worry. I'm the one giving all the breakdown and stuff. You guys just give your opinion, so no worry on that.
Bounce it off Coach Mac.
All right. Well, starting off another great fight night with the main event of. I'll go with Thiago Santos versus Glover Teixeira. big fight, especially in the UFC light heavyweight rankings now. With the 205 belt, with Yan having it now, I really feel like the division's opening up, and we got some interesting matchups to kick off the card with. We're going to try this one. I believe I got it right last time. We're going to see if I can get it right again. Yan Xiaonian. Yan Xiaonian.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
That's
You know,
sounds about right.
Yan Fury, as their nickname goes, is a good stand-up, well-rounded fighter. Coming off a big shutout or a win over Carolina Colvocatus, completely shut her out on the feet and standing. Really good cage skills, in terms of being able to use the clinch, knowing where her weight is at. Actually, really strong fighter for the division. I believe they're 125, I want to say. Yeah, Claudia Gadelha, 125. And, this is a good fight, I think. This is a really even matchup. It's pretty good for the rankings. I believe Fury just broke in with Yan. As I'm going to go, we're not going to say her last name or butcher that even more. We're going to go with Fury for now. But Yan Fury, she just broke into the rankings. This is a big fight. If she beats her, it really starts to bring her within that title contention. I think she's a really well-rounded fighter. And even before that, I believe she was even calling out Wei Li a little bit, being like, hey, man, I was the first female, Chinese female fighter. You were the first, female or the first Chinese champion. We have some heat to settle. Who's the best UFC Chinese martial artist?
That's the best way to do it.
I know. But, this is a tough fight. Claudia Gadelha is no slouch. She does eat a lot of shots. You could see, especially with the last fight, you could even kind of argue she lost it with Angela Hill. Especially with the exchange, she was eating a lot of shots. She even got put down once, which is why I think if she stands up and kind of gets wild within her striking like we've seen her before, I think she's actually going to get put down by Yan. Just because she's a strong, Yan's a strong woman. She's got good size to division. She can go between 115 and 125. And so I think if it stays standing, it's Yan Fury's fight. But if it goes to the ground, I think Claudia's going to submit her. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Claudia Gadelha, that's going to be a good fight for her because that's going to definitely put her up in the rankings. That's going to get a lot of eyes on her, too. Especially if she's trying to move up to, the top 10, top 5. Definitely. Big name, good fight, good test, Definitely, she definitely needs to make an exclamation point.
Yeah, and Yan's also the favorite on Bovada has at a 135 favorite to a 105 underdog in Claudia Gadelha. So, Vegas headlines, they got Claudia surprisingly, who's actually the more veteran UFC vet, you could say, not too much in terms of actual fight experience, but UFC vet here. But like I said, we've seen her, get tagged. We haven't seen the best performances out of her in her last few performances. But her ground game is still proven, which is where I really think she has the advantage and where I think we're going to see her best work. I really think it's going to be interesting when you see them actually hit the cage and see the clinch. That's where you're going to really see who's just more aware of their weight and within their own strength. But that's also why I'm more secure in why, Yan's going to be able to keep the fight standing is because she knows how to keep her feet under her and keep her weight under her. She's not going to let Claudia, kind of bully her around like Claudia will with certain other people in the division. We even saw it in the Joanna fight. Claudia's best moments against Joanna was when she was bullying her, putting her weight on her, weighing her down, had her back, had her up in the clinch, trying to slow that striker's pace down. But like I said, we've seen Claudia also get caught in those exchanges trying to close that distance. And I think if you're going to be closing that distance with a person like Yan throws with just fury. You could see it. She's one of those old school martial artists. It's every punch she throws, you could hear it because she's yelling at it. She's like, ha, ha, ha. I was literally watching her last fight. A whole crowd. This is back when we had crowds, by the way. In Carolina. Every punch up until literally the last bell, I swear she was just, ha, 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 full power every time.
Say that again one more time.
No.
Got a little semi-chub over here.
Oh my God. So we're going to go around the room real quick. I'm going to go with Yan on this one. I'm going with the Chinese martial artist. I think this fight's going to stay standing, and I think she may potentially knock Claudia out on this one. What are you guys thinking?
I honestly can't choose because I don't know these fighters well enough to decide.
You had to take a pick off of my cell that I just gave you.
Probably Yan.
Probably Yan. Yeah. You're going Fury on this one. MAQ?
I want Claudia to take it. You know, her ground game is really good. I feel like if she just fixes some things in the stand-up, you know, she'd be really well-rounded, you know. So
head movement, I think, would be a definite key factor, because every time I see her in exchange, she stands there. She's just like, I'm just gonna stare this punch down. And eat it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I'm rooting for Claudia. I want her to get back in the title picture, but realistically, we're probably gonna have to go with Yan.
I'm going with Yan on this one. Joey?
You know, I really like Street Fighter, so I'm going for Yang.
On this one. What about the rest of the room? What are we feeling?
I got Claudia.
We got one? Okay,
so Claudia as well.
They just think she's pretty, that's why.
Okay. All right. Moving on to this, an interesting middleweight fight that Bovada has a dead even of 115 with Brendan Allen and Ian Heinisch. Brendan Allen, an interesting fighter, a guy I don't think we've really seen his full skill set. A guy that actually my kickboxing coach Moses Marietta fought for the LFA title, you know, and it went how it went. And but we could see with Brendan Allen, you know, great wrestling, great grappling, good camp in Sanford MMA. I believe is where he's been for the past, I don't know how many months. He's been there for a little while, but he's had a good group of guys, a good group of like bigger guys. Been training with, you know, my guy Eunglong Sang, you know, coming off of, you know, he's still 205 champ, and at 1FC. I'm still with my guy Eunglong, and but Brendan Allen, a guy who's really developing, I think, and I think striking-wise, we really haven't seen what he's been able to do. Obviously, we know what he's done with, you know, his grappling, first-round submissions, you know, shutout performances, great ground and pound, heavy top game, really tricky counters and stuff, really good. You know, I would say another great attribute that most people underrate in grapplers, weight awareness, really aware of where his weight is at and where his hips are at under him. But Ian Heinisch is no slouch and also has, in my opinion, the coolest backstory of any UFC fighter ever. By the way, this guy, first off, most incredible story of a human being ever. This guy at like 20 or 22 years old was in a Spanish prison, like with no like prospects of anything. He was in prison in another country for like some crazy like smuggling thing, something he got caught up. It was literally, you can make a Bond movie off of this guy's life. Like, you can literally, I'm like, how does this guy not have his own action movie with just going from jail into the UFC and being one of the top contenders? And it's an interesting matchup, not only to say that, because of Ian Heinisch's skill set. You know, not only does he have good power, good striking, Ian Heinisch has good wrestling. You know, he has that wrestling background, you know, in the MAQ, not thinking so much. And, but, you know, he knows how to keep the fight standing. Personally, though, I'm going to go with Brendan Allen on this one just because, you know, he's a younger guy and we haven't seen much of his game. So I think he might pull some things out that could surprise Ian Heinisch, even though Ian does have the experience. He does have, not only that, he's the older guy, he has more life experience. He's been in the UFC for a little bit longer, had a little bit more of that spotlight and a little bit more when he came into the UFC, a little bit more steam, I would say, than Brendan Allen had, just due to kind of styles and, you know, the fights that Brendan Allen could get. But I think this is one that's really putting Brendan Allen within the spotlight of the maybe more casual or just the more people who watch the UFC who maybe don't watch the prelims, but now they're catching him on these big main cards. And like I said, I think he's going to surprise us with his development, not just as, you know, his overall game, but just his striking game, which we really haven't seen, which I think he's going to catch Ian Heinisch, which we've seen Ian Heinisch get caught before, I believe. And so I'm going to go with Brendan Allen on this one just because I think he has more to prove and he has a little bit more hidden talents that we haven't seen yet. But it's not a fight that Ian Heinisch can't win. What are you guys thinking?
I think Brendan Allen as well.
Going Brendan Allen on this one. Mag?
Hopefully Brendan Allen takes it. You know, there's definitely a lot of steam behind him right now. You know, UFC's trying to really push for him to be the next middleweight contender. So hopefully he can pull it off. You know, don't count out the experienced guy, Ian. You know, he might sit and wait for the right opportunity and catch him, you know. Brendan,
his power is proven.
His power is proven, definitely. If Brandon's able to really dominate that first round, probably get a takedown and impose his will, know, Ian's in for a long night. You know, I got Brendan for this one.
Joey?
I'm pulling for him.
Let's do Ian.
Going Ian Heine?
Yeah, let's do it. I like the Heine. Yeah.
All right. What's the rest room thinking?
Go, Brandon.
Brandon Allen. Going. All right, so we got Brendan Allen, and then one Ian Heinisch on this one. Dondo? Or two Ian Heinisch.
He's Iridium, I think we'll get some.
He's already can't go against him. What about you, Dondo? What you thinking?
I go the Iridium guys too.
You
Always.
on the Iridium guys?
They're my homies.
All right. Well, I'm gonna skip over the bantamweight fight because we gotta talk about this Bellator main event. Corey Anderson's debut against Melvin Manhoef. You can keep it on the the UFC background.
Nah, let's flip it.
All right.
Let's keep it real.
We're gonna hop back to it in a sec, but if you want, also bring up that Bellator real quick. But you know, we've seen Corey Anderson before that. He was on a roll in the UFC. Had that little bit of hiccup with Yan. Yan became the champion for a reason, though, so you can't really blame him on a knockout loss. Before that, he was on a roll. I believe had knocked out Johnny Walker in the first round. Had a dominant decision win before that. There was even talks of him, you know, having a title shot. Obviously, the man went for better business prospects and, you know, a better bag because the guy does not fight for free. You know, he has not been in a street fight since a teenager, which I wish more people would realize. Like, make your money, fighters. We want you to be set up for the rest of your life. Please, you deserve it. You all deserve to get paid. And but going back to this, a really good main event when you think about it. Melvin Manhoef, proven guy in the game, proven vet. You know, I believe a former Glory champion.
Glory, yeah.
Yeah, Glory kickboxing champion. So obviously, great classic matchup of striker versus grappler. Even though Corey Anderson has now proven with his last few fights to be a much more rounded MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Especially coming into his own within his striking and just him being more, I feel like he's more aware of his own power now. And what you were saying with your technique changes and snapping within the jab, you could see he has better technique, he has better power, he's more developed. He's not so much, has that traditional, like, I'm just going to grind it out, lay on top of you wrestler type of style. He's like, I'm a mixed martial artist with multiple skills, and there's a reason why I'm one of the best in the world. And that's why I'm also going to take, you know, Corey Anderson was on a roll with a lot of momentum for a reason. And the only guy that beat him went on to become champ. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We're like, there's a reason. Like, they came out and they put him on a main event against an experienced guy against Melvin Manhoef. And I'm also going to say Father Time is undefeated. Melvin Manhoef's been on his, you know, latter part of his career. I don't know quite how old he is currently, but, you know, Corey's entering the prime of his career, and he had some hungry aspirations in other organizations. Now he's got to reprove his name in a new territory and put his name in the mix. And I think he's going to come out and prove why he was a top 5 and potential title challenger in the UFC, and prove why he belongs in Bellator.
Definitely.
So I'm gonna go with Corey Anderson on this one. I think we're gonna see what Corey Anderson does best. He's gonna use his clinch work. We're gonna see his striking is proved, but he's gonna grind it out, make it a good 5-round decision, I believe. Does Bellator do 5-rounders for their main events? I believe so, right? Can't quite remember on that.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to grind it out to a decision and just punish Melvin Manhoef the entire time with ground and pound. What are you guys thinking?
I think it's going to be Anderson as well.
Going Corey Anderson on this one?
I'm going Corey. I'm going TKO, though.
Going TKO?
Yeah,
Corey?
TKO, yeah.
Okay, I'm going for ground and pound, grind it out wrestler style. But Mag's going for the TKO by Corey. What do you think, Robert?
If Corey Anderson puts him on his back, he's gonna put Melvin out. Melvin doesn't have the greatest chin.
No,
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, I think
He's the scariest person to ever stand. That's somebody you don't want to stand up against for sure. I mean, unless you're crazy like Cyborg, and he went a pretty tough fight. But I think Melvin has a 20% chance because he can knock out anybody. He's got that power.
Well, at this size in this weight class, it's always going to be that storyline of like anybody's.
I mean, dude, he dropped
anybody.
Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
If you can put Mark Hunt down, you can put anybody down.
Yeah.
And especially with the weight, he was 180. He was probably like 190 at that time, and Mark Hunt was like 235, and he put him down. So like,
Mark Hunt's also 5'10", and Corey Anderson's 6'4".
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a different frame of
what do I get it? But what I'm saying is the power is there. The speed and power is there. But I think Corey Anderson takes him down and just flicks him on the chin, and Melvin goes to sleep.
I think it's gonna be just elbows all day from Corey Anderson.
Elbows and hand grenades.
What you going, Joey?
You know, I'm gonna go for manhole, whatever.
Manhole.
I want the manhole to win.
Manhole.
It's a manhole.
All
Jordan
right.
loves the manhole.
Dondo, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna go with Anderson.
Going with Anderson.
Yep.
Rest of the room, how are we feeling? Anderson. All right. We got one manhole and a whole lot of Andersons. All right. Jumping back to the UFC again. Back again with an exciting heavyweight match with a very exciting prospect in Tanner Boser. A guy that, again, I have been talking about, I believe, on this show before. You know, and a guy who's going to prove himself to be a big contender in that heavyweight division with an interesting striking background. I believe he comes from karate, is his first martial art, and then obviously evolved into MMA and has proven himself to be one of the best, honestly, movers at heavyweight. Like, the way his movement, he's very agile for a guy of his size, you know, and his stature. You could even see within the Cyril Gane fight, even though he lost that fight and Cyril dominated that fight, I wouldn't say it was necessarily because like Cyril was faster than them. They were actually pretty close in speed. It was more amazing to watch Cyril's fights after that, because you realize how fast Tanner Boser actually is. And so, which is why I'm gonna go with him on this one, just because like it's not that Andrei Arlovski can't win this fight, but like I said, going back to we've seen bigger heavyweights on the slower decline. We haven't seen the best performances out of him. Granted, his last fight he won it, and he took some big shots in his last fight. We could see with just whatever he was doing, whether it be he was rolling with the punches or the guy just didn't have the same shots that he had felt before. He can still win this fight using his experience. We've seen he's a former champion for a reason. He's fought some of the best names within MMA for a reason. But I think Tanner Boser is just going to be so much more athletically gifted and so much more faster in this one, and a lot more hungry on top of it too. Like, he's been a lot more active, especially during this COVID times, trying to get these fights lined up and trying to get his name out there. And I'm going to go with Tanner Boser on this one just because I think he's going to have the speed and athletic advantage to outstrike Andrei Arlovski.
Definitely.
You know, and especially with the caliber he'd already been in there with Cyril Gane, some of the other big names, you know, like Tanner Boser ain't no slouch. Like, people are going to be talking about this guy. I think him, Cyril Gane, and Tom Aspinall are the biggest up-and-coming contenders within the heavyweight division, and we're going to be talking about those guys for a long while.
100%.
Which is why I'm going with Tanner Boser on this one. Just like I said, I'm going with athleticism and speed for this matchup. What are you guys thinking? And actually, before I get your picks, let me tell you guys about the odds on this one to reinforce my point, you know, of why we should pick Tanner Boser, because he's a minus 280 favorite, you know, with Andrei Arlovski being a plus 220 underdog from Bovada.com, guys. All right, and going to the picks of the table. Tanner Boser on this one. All right, Mag.
You know, I'm actually kind of surprised Andre is still taking these fights. You know, I mean,
20 years later.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Here we are.
Arlovski had a really good run. He has nothing to be ashamed. I think
Arlovski's been fighting before me and him were born.
Yeah, you know, it's like I feel like he's proved his point. He's done his time. I hope this is probably his last fight. You know, it's tough to see him go out the way he's been going out.
If you're gonna go out against a guy, might as well go against the guy who might be a future title contender.
Exactly.
Like,
you know,
this is a fight to go out on, this is one to hang your hat up on, because this is a tough guy, a game dude, a guy who's coming off with a lot of momentum. Whatever Andrei Arlovski whatever performance he delivers, he should be proud of.
Exactly.
Because he's got nothing left to prove to anybody.
Nothing left to prove. You know, the fact that he's still taking these fights, it shows that fighter mentality. You know, you're always going to want to keep fighting. You're always want to keep going, even when people are telling you to stop. You know, but in Arlovski's case, you know, it's been tough seeing him take some of the losses he's taken. You know, I really hope that this is more of like a passing of the torch type thing. You know, it's time for Andre to, you know, hopefully accept that and, you know, ride off into the sunset, man. You know, I got Tanner in this one. I got Tanner.
All right, Fran, who's now joined us. Thoughts and opinions.
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going with Tanner Boser. He's been looking like a straight world beater lately. I mean, Andrei Arlovski, like, he's a good guy to put up against the younger heavyweights, because he's been able to grind out decisions based on, if they're really inexperienced or not. So I think he does still have a place, but I don't think Tanner Boser is the right matchup.
Be the gatekeeper.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he still wants to fight, he has to embrace that role a little bit. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to do it, I can't even knock it,
It's kind of like being the measuring stick of the division.
Yeah.
It's kind of to see where you're at, But I don't think that's a place anyone wants to be.
You don't want to be the mini boss.
Yeah. Especially not a guy like Arlovsky. Arlovsky already has that name. He has that. I feel like the more losses
you want to be Thanos, not whatever side villain Captain America was in the movie. Can't remember.
Yeah.
Bad Joker metaphor, but But Joey, what are you thinking? Rest of the room.
I'm going for old school, man.
Go for old school.
I'm because us old guys, we gotta stick together,
Yeah.
Obi knocks him
These
with a
old
Superman
boxers, they gotta
punch.
stick together, guys.
Show up, and when he wins, show off that mouthpiece with the fangs. That's what I want. We'll see what happens. So I'm going for the old fucker.
Rest of the room.
Andre Day, man. Andre.
Andre.
I like Andre. I want him to win. I don't know if he will, but I want him to win.
All right. Well, moving on to this main event. Very exciting main event. Big main event.
Light heavyweight
with Thiago Santos and Glover Teixeira. A great fight. Two guys who are big names of the division. One, a proven vet. Another guy coming off of his recent title challenge where he damn near tore everything in his knee and fought within multiple rounds on everything torn in his knee. Like Thiago Santos, who's actually the favorite at minus 240, with Glover Teixeira coming out a 190 underdog from Bovada.com. This is an interesting fight, guys. This isn't one I don't really see going to the ground, even though both guys, I believe, are BJJ black belts, both, coming from their Brazilian backgrounds with that culture of martial arts, both coming from warrior backgrounds. Most people actually don't know about Thiago Santos. He grew up in the harshest slum of Rio. I believe it was called the City of God, which is a documentary which was made on it. People don't realize when he was a teenager, he was so good at Muay Thai and like the toughest dude in his neighborhood. The toughest gang members were coming up to Thiago all the time, be like, "Yo, please join our gang. You will have so much influence." And you can
trying to draft him and shit.
For real. Yeah, they were trying to draft him in the gang, and later instead he drafted himself to the army to come back and then murder all those people who were like in his gangs, asking them to join his, join his gang members and causing crime in his same barrio. So not only is he a badass, not only is he a former title challenger, he's a great human being because he then returned to that same area and barrio that he lives in and teaches kids jiu-jitsu and runs a gym for children and youth programs. This is a tough dude. This is a guy who's in a different, just a different mental space than most men are, most human beings are. There's not much you're going to throw at Thiago Santos that's going to fade this guy. He's a former Army paratrooper and comes from the hardest slum in Rio. Like, this is a tough man. But Glover Teixeira has also been in with some of the best names at 205. Fought the John Joneses, dominated the Anthony Smiths. At 40 years old, has one of the best physiques at 40 I've seen for a UFC fighter in a long time, especially at a bigger weight at 205. He still has abs. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's crazy. And,
judge.
And
that's physique.
Yeah, right. Best dad bod out there. He's got the best dad bod out there. And but no, this is an interesting fight. And if you look at I'd say the skill sets is interesting. Glover Teixeira is more of, I would say, a traditional boxer with this striking style. Granted, on the ground game, I think it's going to cancel each other out. Both BJJ black belts, both have at least enough of a wrestling background and enough of wrestling knowledge to keep it standing. I think it's going to come down to how well Thiago has recovered from his knee. That's why I think he's going to be the biggest factor in this fight. If he's fully recovered, and he's looked good, like we've seen him, on hidden pads, we've seen him working out, we've seen him return back to training. But the guy came off of major surgery. Like it wasn't no simple light tears. These were full off the bone tears he had, to the point of where you could see we all saw the videos of him days after the fight of him getting his knee drained, where it was the size of a damn tire. That was something wild. But like I said, he also fought with that same knee for, I think it was 3 rounds. I believe it was the second round. It was when the tear started happening, and from what I remember, he was still kicking in that fight. Like, he was still throwing the hurt leg. So I'm gonna go with Thiago on this one, just cause I like his style more, and just cause I'm believing in Thiago on this one. I feel like mentally he's gonna be there, and if there's a guy to come off a big performance with something to prove, it's going to be Thiago. He has a lot more to prove in this fight. There's a lot more on the line. If Glover drops or loses this one, there's not... I'm not to say there's not as much as on the line, but there's not as much, I guess I would say, repercussion if he loses this one. Okay, you dropped it to Thiago Santos. Well, Thiago Santos is one of the baddest dudes on the planet, for a reason. And he's in that 205 talk for a reason. So I think just due to that style matchup and the power that he still holds within his hands, and the fact that he's had this long of a layoff to heal up, I'm going to go with Thiago Santos on this one. It's, again, not a fight that Glover can't win, but I just think style-wise and the striking matchups and just the pure hammers that Thiago has in his hands, he's going to win this fight. What are you guys thinking? This is one you guys comment a little more on. We got a little more of a kind of striking Muay Thai matchup.
I'm going to go with Teixeira on this one.
You're going Teixeira? Wow. That one's surprising me. My guy surprised me right now. He seems like he's kept quiet on all of them, just agreeing, and then surprised me on the last one.
Hold the bomb for the end.
I respect it. Mag?
I feel like Santos has a lot to lose in this one. A lot to lose and yet a lot to gain. He's trying to get back in that title picture, right? Fights. So I think the biggest question in this one is going to be how well his knee is healed up, right? So hopefully it's healed up, but if it hasn't, Glover's going to expose it. And he's going to seize his moment in this one, So I don't have a clear-cut favorite to win this fight. It's just a matter of what's going to happen.
This is going to be a wild fight.
It's going to be a good fight.
This is going to be a fight that I can see if somebody doesn't go to sleep, it's going all 5 rounds.
Yeah.
This is either pure, cold, hard knockout, or you're going to see a bloody war for 5 rounds.
Definitely.
With the pace being pushed. Fran, what are you thinking?
I think I'm going to go with Santos. But he has to have a perfect fight. Knee or no knee, he has to have a perfect fight, because Glover Teixeira is on a tear, and I don't know, he's a murderer. I don't know, you look at his face, you're like, yo, this fool got bodies, this is not okay. He's a serious dude, and he trains multiple different people, has his own gym, all that shit. Just, I don't know, he looks good still for his age. His movement's still good. Granted that Santos's last fight was against the best in the world. And I don't know, Teixeira's last fight was a little bit, I don't know, a little bit outrageous, but he did his job. He came in, he did his job, whatever,
Well,
we want to see that.
With his last fight that has me more secure within Glover is if you look at his last fight, that first round he didn't win. There was with Anthony Smith, I don't think he won that first round, but that's where you saw Anthony Smith then slow down, and that's where he
started getting hit.
Yeah,
this dude hits hard.
Mistakes. And if you make mistakes with a guy who's experienced with Glover Teixeira, who's as technical, not just experience, not just whatever athletic thing, but technical on a technical level as Glover Teixeira, he's gonna capitalize it, and you're not gonna you're not gonna slick something past him, or hope he catch or misses something. He's gonna see every mistake.
Yeah, and as far as punching, when you were talking about Teixeira's background, in boxing, the striking is different. When you meet them, it's a little bit different. Everything's straighter, Santos comes around, he wings stuff, and then his style is you can't really see it coming, and then he lands those hammers, and you're like, yo, and then it's over, but Teixeira's really technical. If they stand in front of each other, he might hit him first. I don't know what the reach differential is on that,
I believe
but
Santos has a slight reach
advantage,
but it's
that loop might take a little bit of that. I don't know,
but it still comes down to their style.
But what are the odds? You said it was minus 190 for
Teixeira, or no,
for Santos.
Plus 190 for Teixeira, and then minus 240 for Santos. So it's a decent it's a decent line. Yeah, minus 240 for Santos, and then plus 190.
They got a pretty good amount of faith in him.
Yeah. You know,
They've been a little weird about odds, I think, on this card, but the last card, I think they were like 100% except for Bobby Green.
Yeah, there were some people making some money on the last card.
Bro,
yeah, on the last few cards, actually, there's been some money made.
Yeah.
Some interesting upsets, some like
and
great
in
fights.
boxing too.
You know, some burritos that need to be paid. And some
I
burritos
know.
That,
What's up with that?
Given.
I don't know.
All right, Joey, what are you thinking?
Well, the best things that come out of Brazil: Pele, Ronaldinho, Rio 1 and Rio 2, and big butt Brazilian girls. So I'm going for Santos all the way.
They're both Brazilian, Joey.
Well, I'm Santos. Santos.
What do you say? He likes the darker Brazilian.
Yeah, I mean, I like them both colors. They all, as long as they have I like them in all the carnival dances and shit,
Joey prefers the dark meat. All right. Moving on to the rest of the room, guys. How are we feeling?
I'm going to go with Santos because he's got a fucked up knee like me. So
we're going for knee pains.
No knee bros.
Keeping it knee bros.
No knee bros.
I got Santos. We got Santos.
The white guy said, Santos.
Yeah.
Santos.
You got the whisper over here whispering his Santos.
All right, folks. Well, this is Adam. You got to get him out the seat. We're bringing back Dondo real quick. So, quick commercial real quick. Oh, yeah. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Our Life CBD, Already Meals. Who else we got up there? Tino Evil.
What's your name, bro?
My name's Danny.
Daniel, Coach Daniel?
Daniel.
Team Captain Daniel, what are you?
I'm team captain.
Okay. Want to make sure I call you the right thing? Let's get him talking. You say that? Right? Somebody give him a shot of tequila. I'll get him talking. You gotta get him loose.
Bulletproof truth. I thought that was Joey at first.
That? I know, the body's the same. All right, that was Blake Troop. We love Blake Troop. Always Ready Meals.
Our Life.
To Sean Lerma and Our Life CBD. Now we've got team captain Daniel.
Hello.
You're in the house. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Well, you made it all the way through the bloody breakdown with Adam, so that's good. Not a word said, but we're gonna get it out of you now.
All right.
That's why I came on. We want to make sure we know what you're about.
Me at the end. You want to get
Now, does anybody tell you you kind of look like Randy Travis?
No, I never heard that one.
Oh my God! Look up Randy Travis. He's an old country singer.
Who's Randy Travis?
I'm good.
He's a country singer.
I mean, you'll see. It's like country singer.
I don't believe him, so no matter what, it's his own opinion.
It's like
And
a
we're
younger
trying to
picture
get
of
Daniel
Randy
to
Travis.
talk.
A younger version. A younger version. A younger version of.
Say nothing to us.
There, right there. Right there. That's a picture right there.
Nah, I don't
Just
think
do it.
so.
I'm gonna
I
love
don't
you
think so.
Oh, where you go? Where you go? There, wait, hold on. There he is.
Maybe the hair. Maybe the hair. I think it's the hair. Sorry, Dave. I didn't know it was going to go this direction. The guy's name that brought it up is Joey the Bull. I think it's just the hair.
Oh, I see the jaw too.
Oh, that's your friend Adam. If you had a white dad, maybe. Right?
Maybe.
Born in Arkansas.
Maybe.
So what are you doing over there, Daniel? You're team captain. You're running things, taking orders from MAQ.
Yeah. Well. Sorry, I'm very nervous. First time being on a podcast.
Hey, everybody's got to get it in the first time.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, yeah. That was actually a surprise being team captain. I thought my man over here, Mark, was gonna get that award because he taught us so much. But I thank you, Coach, for giving me that award. And yeah, well, I try my best to help everybody out in times of need, to give them that push, some extra tips here and there. But yeah, that's what I do as a team captain.
That's cool. That's needed because Mark's got to stay fighting. He's got to focus. He ain't got time to lead the whole herd. He's got to do his thing. So you took the job. That's good, man. How you feel?
Well, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. I feel.
Did you compete in Reno? I saw a bunch of dudes.
I did. Yes.
How'd that
Yeah.
feel?
I felt really good, honestly. First fight coming out of 6 months of training, and yeah, I did. I think I could have done better, but my coach told me that I was preparing for like about 3 fights or so. So I wanted to pace myself.
Yeah, it's important.
But yeah.
You gotta make it.
Yeah.
It's a marathon to do 3 fights.
Some Kumite stuff right there.
Yeah, for old school Kumite stuff, right? I dig it.
Thank you.
Very cool. So Mac, we got your team here. We had a pretty cool interview. I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Where can people find you on social media?
So you can go ahead and reach me personally at MAQ_3 on Instagram. You could follow the team's journey on MAQ_performance. That's our team page. So right there you'll see these guys working hard every single day. You'll see their tournaments, their upcoming tournaments. We're shooting for one in December. Hopefully in San Diego. We got January, Puerto Vallarta. We're gonna go out there. February we have Miami, and March Vegas. So we have the next few months lined up. We got, I want to keep these guys active.
That's real active. I mean, we're talking 3 months. You guys are gonna be fighting a few times, so I love to hear that. But you're young. You can do it.
Most definitely.
Digging it. Such a pleasure to have you guys. We're the Gym Crashers.
Thank
we
you
got
guys for
Joey the
having us.
Bull.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can find me at Joey the Bull, all social medias, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, with Twitter, Grinder. No, I got a sexy pic on Grinder, man.
Threw that at you. It wasn't me this time.
And make sure you guys subscribe to our channel here on Free Admissions Gym Crashers. Subscribe, check out our website, gymcrashers.com. Like us, hit the button. But yeah, you can find me everywhere. What about Adam?
Adam.Araby on Instagram, ARABY, and then the Fight Life Connoisseurs YouTube and Instagram.
And Francesca Dominique.
Francesca_Dominique. And then you can follow my podcast page at Words with Fran with 2 A's.
Fran with 2 A's.
Yeah.
Fraan.
Fran.
Digging it. And I'm Dondo the Gym Crasher. You can find me on Instagram, John Dondo on Facebook. We're at Free Admission Media on both YouTube and Facebook. Robert at the controls. We'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in again. Like us, subscribe to us, and share the link.
We'll see you next week.
Right. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
You did good, man. Next time we'll get you to talk more.
Yeah,
My brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you for